Hello, and welcome to Skool Tools. I'm Joe, I'm the owner of this community, and this community is all about helping school owners get more insights into their data on the platform so that they can make better decisions and to run their community more optimally. In this video, I want to walk you through the different tools that we have at the moment and how you can leverage them to your advantage to improve yourself and your community. So the first tool that I want to walk you through is called School Bus, and you can reach it by going to schoolbus.io. There's a lot of features that are packed in here, so I'm going to try to give you a good idea of what's included. So first of all, this is the homepage at the moment. And what the homepage is kind of like a Craigslist, but for school owners. So if you're looking for somebody to help you with your community, maybe you need somebody to edit a YouTube video, or you need somebody to create creatives, or somebody to help you with your ads, you can come here and you can make a post specifying exactly what you need. And then the people who are skilled in that thing can then come and apply for the gig. Also, if you're somebody who's looking to make some extra money, this is a great way for you to come and see what people are asking for and try to get those gigs for yourself. So that's the main feature here that we have on the homepage, is this listings, right? Now, once you log in, and you can do that by clicking the sign in button, and you could either sign in with Google or create a new account with your email address. I'm going to sign in with Google here. And then what's going to happen is now we're logged in. So not much really changes on the home page, but now you notice that we have this profile icon up here. So once I click on this, this opens up a little bit more functionality. So first of all, we have the profile. And in the profile, it's kind of like a link tree, but for school. So we have, your username, whether or not it's a verified account. So once I can confirm that you are actually who you say you are, then you're going to get this verified account icon here. So that means that, um, it gives another level of trust, right? So it's not just some random person coming off the street trying to scam you, right? So at least it's a verified account. The person is who they say they are. And then you have your name here, how long you've been a member, and then you get the ability to add 10 up to 10 links. So these can be whatever you want. If you click on those, it'll go to wherever you want them to go. And then you could choose whether or not you want to make it public or private. And then if you say view public profile, so now this is something that you can share with anybody basically on the internet. You could send them to your school's profile, and then they can see all your links and everything about you. So that's the first thing. The next thing is the command center. So the vision here is just like an all-in-one kind of place where you can go and get all the data that we have, right? So we have a dashboard here that has a bunch of metrics. We have this execute tab where you can add to-do lists. And the whole point of this execute tab is to just help you lock in and really focus. So you can add some to-do items, you could take some notes in the scratch pad, and then it'll be saved. The other thing that you could do is you could set a timer. And if I put a 2-second timer here, once the timer runs out, it's just going to play the cha-ching sound over and over again until you press reset. So that's kind of fun to say, like, okay, I'm just going to lock in for a certain amount of time. And then we have this big red button, which is focus mode. And the reason why it's a big red button is because when you click it, you're basically locked out of the site for an hour and a half. You can't use it. So you can just keep this screen up and you can do some work and just kind of stay focused. So that's the idea behind here. The next thing is probably the most useful of everything I've shown you so far, which is the about page scans. So what we have here is every day I have some automated software that runs that will take a snapshot of your about page or about pages if you have more than one. It will capture all the text on the page. It will make sure all the links that you have are working. And it will also call out if you have any dates that are being mentioned anywhere in your about page text. So then that way you'll get an alert that says, hey, you have an upcoming date. Like a lot of people say price changes in, 7 days or whatever. But then they forget about it. And then it's like a month later and they still have the old date up, right? So this will actually call out the dates if they exist within your profile. So the way that the scanner works is it's going to run no matter what every day, but it's only going to capture a scan if something has changed. Okay, so if you don't make any changes to your about page, you won't see a new scan in here every day. It's only when something changes, right? If you change a period to an exclamation point, it's going to capture it and it's going to create a new scan in here for you. So let's just open up one of these guys. I'll just walk you through. So we have the name of the community here, the URL for the community's about page, and then we just have a high level analysis like how everything was. So in this case, yes, we captured about page text, we captured the group description. There was a date detected in the about page text and the link check passed. So what I could do from here, if I click on this image, I can zoom in and I can see all the details here. And here's my date, right? 6/21. So 6/21 is coming up. So let me just close that. And so we have this here, date detection. About page is coming up in 6 days. And if I wanted to see all the details of the page, I could click that, show details, and then you can see what the group description is, what the about page text is, and what are links that I have on the page and whether or not they're working. Okay, so here's a good example. In this case, there was a change to the about page text. So what I did was I removed the home of schoolbus.io and I added including full access to schoolbus.io. So not only will it capture what's on the screen, it's going to capture the difference between the previous scan and the new one. So you can see and have a record of every change for text that you made to your about page. Now, the other thing that is useful here is that we have this notes section, right? So the way that you can use this is you can enter data about how your group was performing when this scan took place. So what I can do from here is I can go into settings and I can see on my school dashboard what was my conversion rate at the time. Then I changed something. What was my conversion rate with the change I made? So each scan, you can come in here and you can enter those details so you can kind of add traceability between your about page and your performance of your group. So really cool. And we have a lot of enhancements planned. All right, so that is the about page scanning. And then, last but not least here, we have the My Listings. So this is just any listings that you made for any gigs or anything like that. You can access them from here, and you have a couple different functionalities: sharing, editing, deleting, making them active or inactive, and so on and so forth. All right, so that's the command center. And then really the last thing here, which is probably the most fun, is we have this Play School Bus button. And if you click that, it turns into a game. And you can drive this school bus around and you can collect money. And then every dollar or whatever you collect, you hear the ka-ching sound. And you could do a speed boost. And you can honk the horn. I don't know if you guys could hear that. Little throwback to Mortal Kombat for anybody who's ever played. And then if you notice down here in the bottom, it's keeping track of how much money you're actually collecting. So yeah, if you want to waste some time and hear the ka-ching sound in a different way, then come and play School Bus. All right, so that's the School Bus tool. The next one I want to show you is Skool.click. And Skool.click is a school URL shortener. There's a lot of URL shorteners out there like Bitly and stuff like that, but this one is really geared towards school owners or people who are doing business of some sort on Skool. And so what you can do here is you can enter a URL. You can say shorten URL. And in this case, it's probably about the same, but like if you had a really long URL. So let me give you a better example here. So if I just go to Skool and I go to the schoolers community and I want to copy a link to a post. So I say 3 dots, copy link. And so if I pasted this in here, super long, right? And then what I could do is just say shorten it. And now it's much better. So now I could take this, it's easier to distribute, it's not as unsightly. And yeah, if you need to put this in a profile somewhere or what have you, it's much cleaner, right? And then if I click this, it's going to take you right into the post that I created the short link for. Pretty cool. The other thing that you could do is if it's a school URL, you can add confetti. And what that's going to do is it's going to give the confetti effect that you get when you join a new school community. So when I say shorten URL, and if I click on it now, we get the confetti effect. So super fun and useful. Now, the other thing that you get when you create a short URL is you get analytics for the URL you create. So if I click on View Analytics, we have the original URL, we have the short URL, how many clicks we had, where the traffic was coming from, the browser and device type, all kinds of analytics information, regarding your link. So yeah, this is something I'm really proud of, that I think it's super useful. And this is free to use. However, if you wanted to have your own custom URL, so like if you look at the URLs that are being generated, they're pretty much random. But if you wanted to have something like school.click/s/your name or some funny word or whatever it may be, you can get that too as a member of the Skool Tools community. So you can say get custom URL, and then it has the instructions that you need to follow in order to get it. And then the last thing here, which is pretty cool, is kind of a new way to discover communities. So what this will do when you click Skool Me, it'll take one of the random URLs that are in the database and it'll just load them for you. And it only works if the URL in the database is a school.com URL. Just for safety reasons, I don't want people to be putting inappropriate things in here. So if I click this, it's going to pick a random one and open it. So it's kind of like a different way to discover school communities. So you can see all the communities that exist within the database if you just click them, but it's going to be random. So you could just click through that and see a bunch of communities, a lot of interesting stuff people have in there. It's kind of like a new way to discover. Okay, so those are the Skool URL shortener and the Skool Bus stuff. So in addition to Skool Bus and the URL shortener, we also have a number of Chrome extensions that do some pretty cool stuff. All right, so let me just open Skool right here and let me go to the tools community. So the first extension I want to show you is the Skool Defender. And basically what this is a tool to help you identify and or mess with bots on Skool or spammers or scammers. So what you do here is you click this little guy up here. And let's start with the defense, right? So how do we defend against spammers? Well, first of all, these are some things that you need to look out for. If people are pitching these things, then they may be a scammer. So watch out for that. But then the other thing that you can do is you can click on anybody's profile picture, right click on there, and then you say this goodbye dear. And then what it does is it opens their profile and then it does an assessment whether or not they're a scammer. So for Devin here, definitely not a scammer. Risk level is low. And then it tells you like how long that they've been in your community, what their activity level is on Skool. So based on all this information, you have an algorithm that basically makes a determination whether this person's a scammer or not. So that's one thing that you can do. The other thing that you can do is run that scan for your entire group just by right-clicking somewhere on the page and saying scan group. And then basically what it'll do is the same thing I just did for Devin, but it'll do it for every single member in your group. Now, it might take a while if you have a lot of members in your group, but at the end, you'll get a nice report that tells you all that information about your folks and whether or not they're likely to be a scammer or not. So kind of fun, kind of useful. The other thing that we have in here is the offensive category. And this is where you can really start messing with people. Use it sparingly and use it only for educational and fun purposes. You don't want to harass somebody who's actually not a scammer, and yeah, that's not a good thing. So the first thing is that we have an identity generator. I guess this is if you wanted to be a scammer yourself. This is more of a joke because if you ever look at the profiles of some of the bots, they always have like, there's something always off about them, right? Like they'll always be in like London, or they'll have really vague occupation and stuff like that. So this just kind of generates a random identity. This is just for fun. And then we have the questions to ask scammers. So a lot of times what I'll do to have fun with scammers is I'll start asking them like ridiculous questions. Like one of my favorite ones is like, what's your favorite pasta to eat while you're running? Just doesn't make any sense. Nobody's eating pasta while they're running. So yeah, if you could pulse anywhere, where would it be? What does that mean? What's the weirdest wallet you've ever seen? I mean, some of these are just hilarious. If you were an enchilada, what kind would you be? I mean, you get the idea. It's just totally ridiculous. And yeah, it's a good way to have some harmless fun with some people. And then the next thing here is an emoji bomb. So basically what you could do is you can say how many emojis you want, and then you just click on it, and then it copies that to the clipboard. So then you could just go in here and just be like, boom, here's 1,000 faces for you, Dave. How do you like them apples? So it's just kind of a fun way to kind of mess with people. And it's not an extensive list of emojis, but yeah, there's a good number there. All right, so that's the scam defender. Next one that we have is the Skool @tagger. And basically what this is a way that you can automatically tag certain members in a post or comment without having to literally type them all in. So for example, here I have a list set up with some people in the group. And so what I can do is I can go into a post or a comment, and I can right click and say tag members, and then all those members that were in my list will just get automatically tagged here. So that way, if there's like a group of people who are interested always in certain things, or a group of people that you're always tagging, then you can use this to set up a list, and then you can, easily right click and then tag them all at once. So the way that you can create your list essentially is you just need to click this capture all members button, and then it'll just load everybody in here. And again, that might take a little while to run depending on how many members you have in your group. But yeah, once it's done, then you can maybe keep a couple different lists for different reasons. So however you would want to use it, it has the ability to tag multiple people. All right. And then the last one that we have here is called Skool Wizard. And what School Wizard does is it will add your affiliate referral code onto any school URL. So then that way, if anybody was to, so that way, once you have that URL built, you can pass that along, and anybody who clicks on it will then be taken to the page with your affiliate code baked in. So for example, here I have my affiliate code and I have a school URL, which is Sam Oven's profile. And if I say abracadabra, it's going to copy the link to Sam's profile with my affiliate code, right? All right, so here is the URL. So I press enter and we go to Sam's profile. Cool. But since my referral code is in the URL, if anybody were to create a school community after visiting this link, then I am going to get the credit for that person signing up for school. And again, this will work with any URL on Skool. So I could, let's say I went into the Schoolers community and I saw a really, let's say Calvin's post, right? Really cool post. I say, come here, copy link, right? I go to School Wizard. I paste that link in. And then I say abracadabra. And so now I can go on my blog or on my social media or whatever it may be. And I can say, hey, check out this really great post by Calvin. And paste that URL in. And yes, I have access to Schoolers, but if I didn't, let's say I was a private window here. Since Schoolers is a private community, they would have to join in order to see that post. But you're going to be the one whose affiliate code gets used. So that way, you know, when people join using the links that you create, then you're in good shape. Then you're going to start earning affiliate commissions from those things. So another way that you can, you know, kind of combine the tools is you can come in here, create your School Wizard link, and then you can go to school.click, and then you can shorten it. Right? So now you have this short URL that you can take, and you can go into a private window here, paste the short URL, same deal, right? And now the difference is you just have a shorter URL. All right, so that is, all right, so those are all of the tools that we have so far. Some of the other cool things that we have inside the community, at level 3, you get this action figure image, which is pretty cool. We're doing a 30-day challenge where you're helping you to analyze your workflow to find bottlenecks so that there may be a software solution to help you. And then we have Workbench, which is kind of just organizing all the information about the different tools that we have. And then we have the Playground. And the Playground is something that you get access to at level 5. It has a whole bunch of fun and silly and crazy things, including the prompt that you need to create your own action figures. As far as like group events and stuff, we have one call on Saturday night. It's called Saturday Night Vibe. And we just talk about people's issues that, you know, maybe there's a tool for, or we talk about the current tools and how they can be better. It's usually a lot of fun, and yeah, really get a lot of great feedback from the community, and it informs me like what I should be thinking about next or working on. So yeah, so that's pretty much it for Skool Tools. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you on the inside. Take care.